space, below the surface of planet Zegas, Samus Aran faced the space pirates. She destroyed their operation, wiped out the parasites called Metroids, and defeated Mother Brain. But the pirates were far from finished.
Alright. No idea why it wasn't playing audio at first there. That's gonna be a problem. Because it was an easy fix, but it's gonna be a problem for Kingdom Hearts tomorrow. Because the fix doesn't really work for Kingdom Hearts. But, that sounds like a tomorrow problem to me. In the meantime, right now, it's been a while since I did a stream when the sun was up. But we're getting into some more Metroid Prime. Might be a shorter stream tonight, I don't know. I'm mainly looking to make up some lost time for because of when Comcast cut us short last time. So, but we'll see how things go. Obviously, this was not a scheduled stream day. I just felt like going for it, so here we are. Once it loads. And it has loaded. Alright, so we gotta get back down to Magmoor Caverns and make our way over to Phendrana Drifts. Which, oh man. These controls do actually take a little bit of getting used to, I feel like. They're not quite as seamless as I remember them being. Let me double check the map. Okay, that goes to Chozo Ruins. Okay, so we want to go... We want to head up a bit and go towards the one that would be just straight. Back down to where we were in Magmoor Caverns. So... I am... I'm unsure nowadays how I feel about the motion controls, because they're not quite as smooth and intuitive as I remember them being. I don't know, it's weird. Oh, right, I can just do that. I guess it's because just the way that the Wii remote is shaped kind of makes an awkward setup where it's hard to hit to get the missiles while also, like, holding the controller in a normal human manner. And I feel like the camera just ends up jerking around a lot more. Whereas the game was designed very carefully and specifically to work with the sort of slow aiming that the GameCube controller had. So, could be worse, could be other M, that is... I mean, it could be worse, could just be awful, but yeah, I suppose. That's kind of the difficult thing when it comes to this series. It could always be other M. I need a haircut. God, my hair just looks terrible. There's just no way for my hair to look good at this length. Okay, so I have a feeling that this is not actually the way we were supposed to go, was it? No. Doesn't... Oh. No, that needs Spider Ball. Okay. So yeah, then we gotta go back out this way. How do you do, fellow gamers? Hello. Welcome back to the Metroid. Camera. The webcam is a little... Use a little more space this way. That looks a little better. Okay. So, like I was saying, I don't know what's going on with my audio stuff. It was a really easy fix for right now, but it's probably going to be a problem tomorrow because my normal audio setup didn't immediately work. So that means Joe's not going to be able to hear Kingdom Hearts. Ow. Do those need a scan? No, they're just kind of there. It's streaming tomorrow again. Yeah, every Tuesday. Until the end of time. this is kind of a specific spot where I can't be as reckless as I normally am. Do these need to be scanned? No. See how long that one gummy boss takes. So Seren reminded me something last night. Not last night, but after the stream, where we don't need the donut for that mission, because that mission we're not going for S rank. So what we really just need to do is build a tankier ship, and it becomes a lot easier. We just need to get to the end of it. Not a lot of lore behind this flamethrowers aside the fact that the jerks. Fractures in Bendesium frame. I believe Bendesium is power bombs. Fixed camera morph ball sections are a nightmare in VR. I can imagine. Scan these. Yes. This room sucks and has always sucked. Just gotta kill 1,000 things every time we want to go through this way. Let's see. So yeah, I don't expect the gummy ship sections to take that much longer tomorrow, because that one particular mission we don't need to S rank, and then S ranking everything else with the donut is not going to be hard. We just need to like build a version of the donut for each specific circumstance that the requirements, the mission requirements have, and then we'll be good to go. So I think we're gonna get to the data fights pretty quick tomorrow. I guess I'll just. I don't remember exactly where I need to go, so I'm just gonna assume I'm going over there. Let's see here. Immersion pistons are leaching power from the magma pools as planned. Geothermal power sources promising. Recommend energy command. Deactivate central dynamo and switch to geothermal power at once. Geothermal power is routing to this station is complete. Unstable magma flow is a concern. Remove tower from geothermal grid if fluctuations exceed safety levels. Local crystal formations possess low phazon residue. They do have high value to the monks of Grondheim, however. Recommend processing of crystal for that market once phazon operations cease. That's an interesting little bit. Space Pirates just trying to make some cash on the side, I guess. Report any signs of magma predator activity to Security Central at once. Okay. I don't think that's how you spell leeching. Oh, it can be, in some circumstances. What was wrong with my pointer for a second? I was acting really weird. Alright, where my sensor bar is, it's really easy to accidentally block it. Can I do anything here? Can I scan anything there? The sensor bar was probably the biggest weakness of the Wii. Even though it's also like a big part of why pointer actually works. Because gyro aiming has never quite worked as well. Okay. Yes, that puzzle is trivialized by the morph ball jump, but it's also not a very good puzzle. Nothing under here? Okay. Alright, off to Phendrana Drifts. Got pretty good view count for a Monday night unannounced stream. Kind of surprised that we got this many people showing up. This ice structure blocks the hull. A concussive blast should be able to clear it out of the way. Good thing I've got that. Monday night, you say? I do. I mean, it's after work, so it's nighttime. So, I mean, the sun's literally... You can see the sun is still up behind me. Alright. So, we've got the Crystallite, Territorial, Cold Weather Scavenger. The shell... Whoops. Oh my god. The shell of a Crystallite reflects beam weapons and can only be cracked by a concussive blast. They hang upside down in an ice cave during their larval stage. Moisture runs off its body and forms the hard ice shell, which the Crystallite retains for the rest of its life. Not what if I have something to say about it. This is the goat of ice levels, yeah, because they don't force you to do any ice go slip shit. Instead, it focuses more on how ice breaks, which is a far more interesting place to take that. I don't think Metroid has ever done Ice Go Slip, which is good. That music, damn. Yes, the Phendrana Drifts music is like probably one of the more famous pieces of music in the game. Grating has become brittle from temperature fluctuations. Large traces of radion detected. I forget what radion. Oh, okay, radion just breaks from missiles. Funny seeing you in the fusion suit in this ice level a little bit. But the Varia suit, we have the Varia suit, that's the point. The door directly above has been unlocked. The Varia suit did protect from, or Varia suit. Sorry, Varia suit is how it's supposed to be pronounced. But it does protect from ice and fusion. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I want to get up there. Can I get from there to there? I don't think so. Although I don't think I've been up there yet, have I? I think I went in there first. So we'll do that. Okay, yeah, that was easy. This thing needs to be scanned. This is a flicker bat, scavenger with optical camouflaging that renders it invisible to the naked eye. Flicker bats are deceptive creatures. The only way to track them reliably is with X-ray imaging. They fly ceaselessly, hunting insects and other small prey that float on the air currents. Flicker bats tend to fly in cyclical hunting patterns using primitive sonar to navigate. Are they all flicker bats? Yes. Okay. I don't think that needs to be scanned. I'm not certain. Then this one is a scatter bamboo. Pulsing tendrils of energy extend from creature's body. I'm sure Twitch's bitrate really loves this one. Like all bamboos, these creatures can only be harmed by electrical energy. Proximity to these life forms may result in electrical visor interference. It is possible to avoid engaging scatter bamboos by rolling into the morph ball and slipping between the rotating energy streams. Twitch is definitely having a time. Here, let's get closer. Oh boy, I'm sure this looks good on the stream. The static is definitely just an MPEG. I mean, that's probably how you should do it. Alright. So we can't kill it, so we just gotta go through it. Face is censored so hard, good. Alright. Let's scan this real quick. The baby Sheegoth. Glacial Predator. Ice shell protects vulnerable dorsal area. Young Sheegoths grow a resilient shell of ice on their backs, which serves to protect a layer of vulnerable flesh. With this being their only weak point, baby Sheegoths will turn quickly in order to not allow predators the opportunity to strike at their backs. Powerful hunters, they fire bursts of ultrasoid gas at potential prey, then feast on their frozen victim. Dinosaur baby, wow. And just like all dinosaurs, they must go extinct. That is not what I would call turning quickly. quick charge might be best against those. I mean, is it Ultra Coid? That's the only alternative. I've never seen that word before. Is that a real word? What does it mean? You got a big missile ammunition. Resupplies missile launcher with 5 rounds of ammo. It's an ultra low temperature. I would just say very cold. Science has too many words for things that already have words. And this is the Ice Burrower. Burrower adapted to sub-freezing climates. A hardy life form, the Ice Burrower has adapted to the frigid climate of Phendrana. It spends most of its time tunneling through the frozen soil, but will occasionally surface to attack passerby. I've already forgot its name. Ice Burrower. Oh, well, that's not a very interesting name. Let's just... Or we can just ignore them because they don't matter. There's a lot. And they're not very fun to fight. Okay, now we're up here. So why are we up here? To go up here, obviously. Can I scan this from here? Sort of. This platform is kept aloft by a gas-based propulsion system attached to its underside. Cool. Those are regular pulse combo. I can't kill these yet, right? No, I think I need the wave beam. Which, it's neat how this game just kind of reinterpreted Samus's beams and how they should work in 3D. And the game has to justify the existence of floating platforms. I mean, for a sci-fi setting, it's nice. Ooh, Chozo. Chozo script translated: as the great poison reaches ever further into the planet, we Chozo begin to feel the gnawings of despair. Before it is too late, we now make our last stand. We have begun to build a temple to contain this darkness. At its heart, we will place a cipher, a mystical lock powered by 12 artifacts, and filled with as much power as we Chozo can harness. We wonder, though, even when we are done, will it be too late? And will the power of the temple and the cipher itself prove strong enough to hold back the poisonous tide that even now swells within the ground, threatening all life? Yeah, given how often we're scanning things, it's just it's nice to have just more to read. A lot of hits here. Everything you gotta make a goddamn appointment to kill. Go under this boy. Baby Sheegoths be easier with full charge shots rather than half charges. Okay. I kind of just have this instinct to kill everything with half charges because it's faster, but I probably should be using full charges a lot more than I actually am. I feel like overall it still takes roughly the same amount of time, but this time I'm just actually doing the damage for real. Are we about to get the boost ball? I think we are. making that noise? Oh, it's just the platform's falling. Okay. Boost ball acquired. Alright. Move this down here where I can see it. Okay. Alexa, play TNT by AC/DC. Alright. So this is kind of the first example of where I feel like Prime's overall like world design and backtracking isn't really as clear as I would like it to be. Yeah, I can't get those yet. Alright. So many creatures suffer beneath the blight upon the land, and we Chozo are no exception. But for all of our pain, we can at least believe in the promise of the future. We have come to believe that a time may never come when we can once again open the door and banish the darkness we've contained. Even so, our vigilance will forever remain. We believe that on some far-off day, a savior will come and continue with what we have begun. For that savior, we will leave our ancient weapons and armor. The soul who can gather them will be the entrusted one, the only being who can reverse the evil that grows here. Because I'm not sure it's really easy at all to like go look at the map and see where we can use the boost ball. Because where we're supposed to use it is here. But you can't tell that just by looking at the map, which is something that I think makes it a lot more annoying if you're not using the hint system. It makes the hint system more necessary. Chozo would have handled the pandemic a lot better than us humans, huh? I mean, they're all dead. So, they all died of this plague. Oh, I gotta go up there. But for as much as I don't like the hidden system and I prefer to turn it off, it definitely feels more necessary because of how the I don't have to get up there with the half pipe. Because of how the map doesn't really tell you everything it needs to. Can I use this to go the other way? Platforms are now offline. Oh, I guess I can just walk up all that way. Yeah, I can just go this whole way. I just didn't because I wanted to get that scan. Inclined to cut them a break a little because it's their first time applying this stuff to 3D and first person. I mean, yeah, I just feel like there could have... I don't know, because I think about the map in Dread. And the map in Dread is so careful about showing you so many details that you can use that I feel like would have gone a long way for this game. I don't need to fight you there, I see you. I can just go. Is there anything up here that I can get that I didn't? No, that's where the Chozo lore was before. And these are kind of problems that I'm not sure if Prime's... I don't remember if Prime solves these problems later. Because it's been a while since I played Prime 2, and even longer since I played Prime 3. It's funny how that shadow was just a big JPEG. Because I remember even like a particular spot to use the boost ball that I didn't intuitively know about I just saw it and I remember it right now, but I partially remember it specifically because I've played this game before and knew that I was getting the boost ball. And part of me wants to wonder if Joe is going to struggle, but also Joe's not going to turn off the hint system, so... For the life of me to remember if Jedi Fallen Order struggled with this map design too. The closest in my mind being a modern Metroid Prime kind of game. That Meta Ridley shadow cutscene is interesting to get there because of the way that it, like, it's the last time we see Meta Ridley for a while. I don't think we see him again until we fight him. He's referenced future pirate logs, at least that's true. I'm also thinking right now of how we're gonna have to go through that, like we're gonna have to backtrack through that stupid turret room again. And that's why I hate Magmoor Caverns and call it like a glorified loading screen. Partially because of this exact moment that we're playing right here, right now. I think... And also, like, I just happened to decide to go this way. And that's kind of like the entire reason I remember that this elevator's here. So this is also a point where it's like, I'm wondering if Joe is going to... If Joe's gonna run into that problem. Vixie, welcome. Yes, so... Yeah, the stream notification... This is kind of like a point of, like, going forward, I'm gonna be a bit more fast and loose with scheduling. Because for the last year or so, me and Joe have been, like, really hardcore tied to the schedule more than we were in the past. And I just had to sit down, and this is something that he agrees with, and where I had to sit down and realize that, like, our mental and emotional health was taking a toll of being such slaves to the schedule. Of, like, I felt like I had to plan my entire life around it. So now I'm just like, on Thursday I didn't feel like streaming, so I just didn't. And on Monday I do feel like streaming, so I am. And from a viewing perspective, that's probably going to be a little more frustrating because you're not going to be able to, like, be aware of the streams quite as well. But it's something that I feel is pretty necessary going forward because I was just, like, kind of killing myself a bit. So just, you know, I'm always going to give notifications when I'm streaming. So, like, I'll post them on Twitter. And you should obviously get the notification from Twitch, but just, I'll be more fast and loose in the future, just as a general note and heads up. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, and to some extent, we're still going to try to be relatively consistent. Like, we're still going to try to have a stream on Thursdays when we can. Kingdom Hearts is still going to be Tuesdays pretty consistently, especially because that one kind of can't be fast and loose because we need both me and Joe to be free. Sandstone. That was Morph Ball Bomb. It's funny, like, we originally had the schedule as a setup to sort of, like, be more consistent. because I'm thinking back to when we were streaming Earthbound, and it was just like I didn't want to stream Earthbound, so I would go like an entire month without actually playing it. And then that's when we kind of sat down and went, okay, every Thursday we stream, because that forced me to get through the rest of Earthbound, and it helped me get like, that was a big part of like consistently getting through Final Fantasy VII with how long that game was. So I will try to be somewhat scheduled a little bit, but I'm gonna be a lot more willing to just be like, here's, you know, I just feel like doing this today. And that is also why we always make sure to get the VODs up. So I always highlight as many of these stream VODs. I always highlight the stream VODs so you can go back on the Twitch channel to see them. Joe puts a lot of them on YouTube. I don't really put them on YouTube right now. I should. But every stream we've done for over a year now, you can go back and see in the highlights. We're talking about not sticking to stream schedules? We sure are. Well, welcome to the Schedule is Fake crew. I know we have to go back to Phendrana Drifts right now, but while it's on my mind, I want to go to a half pipe that I saw in Chozo Ruins. Okay. I also just kind of realized that I was getting to the point where it's like I couldn't like plan stuff with my friends because it's like there was too much time being taken up by streams. So sometimes, maybe it's like sometimes I'm just gonna be like, yeah, no stream on this day because I just want to hang out with my friends. Okay, that thing used to be a boss and now it's just a regular enemy. Do I need to scan it again? I need a voting thing between stream anarchy and stream democracy. No, doesn't need to be scanned again. It's just a boss is now a regular enemy. And I'm going to ignore it just the same. We'll go up around this way. Oh, that needs Spider Ball. Early game boss becomes later game normally. One of my favorite video game tropes. It is pretty good. It was interesting how some bosses become energies. Enemies said I missed the Sheegoth fight. No Sheegoth yet. So I only just got the boost ball and the space jump. Or do they call it the space jump in this game? Is that what it is? I just kind of assumed it was. And evidently I didn't get this. Or evidently I did. Okay, I guess that doesn't stay destroyed. Alright. So we need Spider Ball up there. Hopefully I remember that this time. I think it is called Space Jump. Okay. I gotta be really careful with the way that my finger is, like the way my hand is positioned on the Wii remote so that I can easily get like the missiles and the beams. Like I'm dangerously close to the power button over here. And immediately left it to go collectibles. I mean, the game forced me to leave it. That was critical path. I'm just taking longer to get back to it. I kind of like prefer having like the stupid overpowered space jump by the end of the game. I like it as a late game thing, but it is kind of, it would be very difficult to get working in 3D. And that is ultimately a big part of why I still prefer 2D Metroid, because it's just the crazy movement options that you get in 2D Metroid. No, wait, this is not the way I want to go. The crazy movement options that you get are just more my style. but it's like impossible to design a 3D game with that many movement options and still have it be a Metroid game. Because like I'm just trying to imagine this room right now with the same wall jumps and that you have from minute 1 in Super Metroid. It's impossible. You can't do it. So I get it. I just want to go crazy. I don't think there's anything up there for me because I'm going to need the plasma beam. Oh, I can't get up there without the grapple hook anyway. So we're going to go back down now. It is good that we have both. I'm just gonna like be grumbling over in my corner that the ones I prefer are never gonna be the ones that sell as well or get as much attention. Because like, there's kind of this, like, Metroid Prime was the one that was like actually popular for a long time. And like now there's people that treat the stuff that's only in Prime and not in 2D Metroid as being like the end all be all of canon. Like how people are with the fucking Pokemon anime. So Metroid Dread was critically acclaimed and sold well and won awards. Yes, that is true. And I am extremely happy that there is still a place for 2D Metroid. The problem, but like Metroid Prime 4, when it finally comes out, is going to sell better. I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. And I feel like Metroid Dread never got quite the pop-off in hype from the marketing as Prime 4 did. It's just, you can feel that people care more about the looming ghost that is Prime 4 than they do about Dread. Because Dread's not the cool 3D game. Even though, like I do really like Prime. I think it does a really good job of like creating this world to explore. And it's more of an it's much more atmospheric than 2D Metroids in many ways. It's just, I do kind of wish that Prime was its own franchise in a way. Yes, but Dread is a game that actually came out. It's true. But yeah, part of me, like, I wish we had this exact same game, just with a different title. Because it means that the 2D Metroids are kind of, they're kind of like put to the side as far as cultural relevance goes. And that's always going to kind of hurt, like, how iconic they can be nowadays. Collapsible suspension bridge is functional, but requires power. Well, it's a good thing that we can do this bit here. This is a standard spinner device. Whoops. The generator belts of the spinner can be activated by rapid rotational force. Use the boost ability of the morph ball when inside the spinner to activate the device. Diegetically, why does this exist? Surprised that no one else has done anything like this as far as I know. Well, I imagine it's very difficult to do something like this. And this game is the result of years of horrific crunch. Like, if you look at any behind the scenes stuff from this game, Retro Studios was not a very happy place to work at the time. Alright, Chozo artifact. Endesium portion unstable. I feel like while 2D Metroid is unfortunately going to be Metroid Prime's shadow, I think the legacy of 2D Metroidvania is taking off is still important to consider. Yeah, but all those Metroidvanias are based off of Castlevania instead of Metroid. Like, most of the Metroidvanias that I play are more Symphony of the Night than they are Super Metroid. And Hollow Knight being like the one giant exception. but that's kind of where I get the opinion of, like, I'm not sure I like Metroidvania. I think I just like Metroid. Jedi Fallen Order gives Prime 3 vibes. So, Jedi Fallen Order is definitely close to being Metroid Prime, with the caveat that it is not nearly as good at being Metroid Prime as Metroid Prime. So, it's a good Star Wars game. And I think it's got really good action. And it's really good to just be able to say, we have another game like this. But it is just not as good as Metroid Prime is. First-person adventures are an interesting thing. There's several out there. Half-Life is my immediate thought of an adventure in first-person perspective. So I think the biggest problem that these first-person adventure kind of games have is how expensive they are and how difficult they are to make. Like, this is not a very simple thing to do. And as far as the really big budget stuff goes, they rely on stuff that's very easy to iterate year after year. Excuse me. That's, in some ways, you can really only see Nintendo making games like this. I'm pretty sure I need to go in there, but I want to go back up here first. Yeah, Half-Life's very linear. And in a way, that keeps its costs down, because it's a lot more controlled. So, like, in a way, it's quote-unquote cheaper to do Metroid Prime, because Metroid Prime has, goddammit, has fewer unique assets and areas than Half-Life does. New research, oh my god, that's the research that you need to get? This hanging rock structure appears to have a weak spot near its base. Some stalactites can be dislodged from ceilings, allowing them to be used as platforms across otherwise unreachable areas. That feels like an extremely missable research scan. But, like, in making a Metroid game, like, there's a lot of rebuilding and throwing out of, like, worlds and concepts that comes with it. Finally, Hill of Dark Souls 1 being a 3D Metroidvania, that is more arguable than definitive. I still have not played Dark Souls, so I'm gonna have to get around to it. I've already been in here. Did I do something wrong? Is that just a shortcut? I guess it's just a shortcut. I don't think there was anything for me to get in here now, but we're gonna check it anyway. Because around here is where I stop having the critical path of the game memorized. Not to say that, like, I don't know what's ahead of us, but the point A to point B is a lot foggier. No, I don't think I need to be in here. It makes it a little weird that there's, like, a bespoke shortcut for it. Need the wave beam before I can go up there, so this area is not where we want to be. Okay, jeez. Personal space, buddies. We'll go in here. Okay, well, you know what? It's been a while since I saved, so let's hit that save room real quick. I think that was up here. No, this does not lead to the save room. Where does this lead? It just leads around up there. That's the save room. I might need to check in there real quick, though. I don't remember if there's anything that the space jump helps with. It is it's kind of astonishing that this is what the GameCube was able to do. And it's like, I don't know, maybe that's just because like I never really played PS2 era games. But like when I look back on PS2 games, I don't really feel like they managed to look this good. Unless like they had like a very simplified cartoon style, or like were really contained. So like Metal Gear Solid looks really good, but it's also not nearly as open as this. Like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 look fantastic. They're on a much smaller scale. Is this where I just fucking was? No, it's not. Okay. Like any given area in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 is much smaller than any given area in Metroid Prime. So they can get away with a lot more visual fidelity. And then you have like the cartoonier games, like obviously Kingdom Hearts still holds up very well. We need Spider Ball for that, so we are done here. Go this way just in case anything new. I know I like Tales of the Abyss. That still looks really good, but that's more of an anime art style, not a realistic art style. This is one of the better looking realistic style games out there, especially for its era. More about lots of things loaded at once than graphical intensity. Yeah, and GTA is a good example for how much it never did look as good as this because of how many things it was trying to load at once. And, like, that's not to say that those were bad games, because, like that is, like, the beginnings of open world right there. Cordite? Is that... No, I think that's super missiles. Like, there was a huge necessity for the games that sacrificed their graphical fidelity for the ability to have big open worlds, because that was the creation of the open world genre. But the way that this game has its style of atmosphere is something that no one else was coming anywhere close to at the time. A lot of PS2 games attempt hard realism, GameCube games have a fantastic sense of art style. This stands out as a game that has a strong sense of art style that looks realistic. Yeah. Oh, another scan. Morphology: Ice Pirate, a scavenger with crystalline outer shell. Parasites are hardy creatures able to adapt to any environment within 3 generations. The ice parasite is a prime example, having adjusted to a frigid climate. This vermin now thrives in it. Omnivorous, it can exist in areas hostile to most life forms. GameCube had a lot of horsepower for its time. It did. If I remember correctly, it was the strongest of the 3 consoles. It just never managed to sell nearly as well because it just couldn't keep up in terms of like the IP that was really pushing boundaries, like Metal Gear Solid and GTA and Final Fantasy. Really, the lack of Final Fantasy specifically kind of killed Nintendo for several generations until they managed to really get back on things with the Wii. Xbox was a little stronger, but they were pretty close. Okay. There appears to be a shell of ice encasing the water basin. The water originated from the statue's mouth. Okay. Statue's hands seem to be frozen in place. Can I break this? No, not at the moment. Statue depicting the bust of a Chozo shaman adorns this door. The symbol is carved into its forehead. The translation reads, "To pass my gaze, seek my twin within this room." Cryptic. Oh, I need to find the one that looks like this. It's pretty simple. just scan. Several stress fractures can be seen running along the surface of this brimstone object. Statue is flawless. Flawless. Flawless and flawless. Yeah, so this one's the shaman. That was just a let the game tell you what to do puzzle a little bit. Resident Evil exclusivity was definitely an attempt to lose the kitty reputation. Didn't work out great in the long run. God, it sure didn't. Video game is also very toxically masculine. It sure was. Yeah, that image was probably also a big part of it. But, I mean, Nintendo would have the last laugh. Because the thing about it is that nowadays, they're not the ones that are selling the most games, but they are the ones that are generating the most revenue. So, the Switch is, like, crazy, crazy successful. Okay, I forget, what's this gonna be? Wave Beam. Okay, I believe this is the Sheegoth fight. Do I get this before the fight? No. Which is their most successful console to date? I think if it's not their most successful, it is close. Can't remember if it's past the Wii, but it is close if it's not there yet. Unfortunately, I'm worried if that success is going to carry forward, because in a lot of ways, they are showing signs of their usual bullshit. Third parties are not as successful on Switch. So, will a Switch successor, or like, will a Switch successor be as successful, or even like, are they going to try a successor? It's hard to imagine them not, because this, like, it's really struggling to run their own games at this point. Okay. Alright, we gotta scan. Which most financially successful console to not have Call of Duty or Madden on it. That's also true. Alright, Sheegoth, supreme predator of the Phendrana Drifts that we will never see again. Sheegoths are invulnerable to the most beam weapons. The crystals on their back absorb energy which they can fire at prey. Sheegoths have poor stamina. They hyperventilate after using their breath attack, making their mouth area vulnerable. The soft underbelly of a Sheegoth is susceptible to concussive blasts. In battle, they expel blasts of frigid gas to ensnare their targets. They are also fond of ramming and trampling their hapless prey. Curious about how Breath of the Wild 2 will run. I mean, probably worse than Breath of the Wild 1. Well, we charged it up all the way. Now what? Just shoot it in the face. Shoot it in the face over and over. I mentioned it's soft underbelly. Can I do crazy stuff with the morph ball? Yes, I can. But I guess it's just more efficient to just stand back and fire missiles forever. That's not a very interesting boss fight. Alright, got the wave beam. Yeah, that fight was very much just like stand like a medium distance behind it and shoot missiles forever. Alright, 10 missile ammo. So yeah, the situation as far as like the Switch's power is going to be a problem sooner rather than later, I think. I would say Pokemon is a really big example of it already. I really liked Bunny Hop's point from his latest video of games from the third parties aren't doing as well, but the game industry is thriving regardless. Yes, but it's not just the third parties. It's kind of just like Nintendo is really the only one to be able to be successful on Switch. And people often point out how like good it is for indie games on Switch, but the problem is that a lot of people don't realize that like that huge boom, like that well is dry. Indie games are not particularly poised well to do that much better on Switch nowadays than they are on any other platform. And it's not like the golden goose that it used to be. So it is kind of at the point where like the only ones that can really do great on Switch are Nintendo. What the fuck? I mean, I know what just happened, but what the fuck? So I think there's a big longevity question on Switch. And when you look at games like Pokemon struggling to run, it's tough. And you look at SMT5, for example, Switch exclusive. It's very struggling. And you're starting to get into these points where Switch emulation is at the point where a game will release on Switch and then that very same day it's running on an emulator at 4K, way higher frame rate than it does natively. And you see that like I saw that in both SMT5 and in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And that's kind of where it becomes immediately clear that, like, the Switch is like already struggling a lot when its exclusive games don't run very well on it. And that kind of asks a big question of like what the future is going to be for this system. Is Breath of the Wild going to be its last big game? Are we even is Metroid Prime 4 even going to release on Switch? Will it just be on whatever comes next? That's kind of like a big point of me wondering, like, where does this go from here? I really do hope their next console is the Virtual Guy. I need to get back up there, don't I? Oh, I can just hop on here. Okay. So now we're heading right up there. Next handheld, the Nintendo Game Man. I kind of hope that Nintendo just like stays in this niche of hybrid consoles, to be honest. I think they need one that is more successful than the Switch, or not more successful, more powerful than the Switch, because the Switch is, like I said, the Switch is showing signs of like, oh fuck. Okay, we got it. This fucking scanning this thing was ridiculously hard. Ice Shriek Bats, Ice Encased Ceiling Dweller. Like standard shriek bats, these creatures are easily spotted with thermal imaging. They roost on cave ceilings, subsisting on insects, reptiles, and small mammals. Fiercely territorial, they will dive bomb anything that wanders near. How big of a threat to the Switch is the Steam Deck's going to be? Not very. Steam Deck is going to be a subset of the already of the PC gaming market that is already a subset. I do not think Nintendo's worried about the Steam Deck. Especially not at that price point. Like, at that price point, these two things do not have the same audience whatsoever. Like, isn't it, like, isn't the Steam Deck, like, $400 for, like, the most basic model? Like, I can't check while I'm in the middle of streaming, but, like, I'm pretty sure it's, like, if you want, like, the good Steam Deck, it's like, 500. Am I getting a phone call? For fuck's sake, I am. Alright, I'm getting a phone call. I gotta be right back. Where's my be right back screen? There it is.
Starting without me? Boys, I'm crushed.
Well, I guess you didn't hear any of that. So, Digital David, thank you so much for the raid. I said a whole bunch of stuff, and that's embarrassing. But hey, we're here with Metroid Prime. So thank you for the raid. I've never played The Witness myself, but I've seen like reviews and critiques of it and stuff, and it seems unbelievably difficult. So we are here in Metroid Prime Phendrana Drifts. We just got the space jump and the boost ball, and we're making our way downtown. Can I not? No. And we just happened to be talking about the Steam Deck, which I believe while I was gone, someone found the price was $400 for the cheap one. Icons for the beams in this game are interesting. Its position of Samus's hand inside the gun. Yeah, that's really cool. Like that's it's just that little bit of world building that they're good at here. Quizzing friends of yours. So if you're big on quizzes, then The Witness sounds like pretty much the game for you then. At the very least, it's a big a big mental test. And actually, for what Dr. Dead just pointed out for the hand symbols, we'll actually be able to see that later a little better when we get the X-ray visor, But you can already see it if you like really look carefully. It's hard to make it out. Witness is more puzzly than Quizly. It still gets the mental juices flowing though. So, comparable, I would say. Okay. And speaking of puzzles, maybe I should pay a little closer attention to this puzzle so that I don't just like randomly stumble around through it. Streaming Obra Dinn on Wednesdays right now. I need to play that game real bad. It looks fantastic and I've heard incredible things about it, but I just still have not gotten around to it. No, fuck. God damn it. Okay, well, we get to slowly wait for the water to lower down in this sort of walk of shame in a way. Yeah, Obra Dinn, based on everything I've heard about the puzzles, it seems super, super cool. Hopefully I'll get around to that sooner rather than later. Because there's plenty that I say I need to get around to that I just never end up doing. Oh my god, come on. Okay, I don't think this is where it wanted me to be, but we got an energy tank. That's good. I forgot to scan it. I think we need to scan it, and I just didn't. I just haven't. Given I've played this before, you'd think I'd be, like, smarter with the way I do things in it. But that's not the way we do things around here. I would not say I've ever been smart about anything. Okay, so maybe that central platform there is where we want to be? Right there? Yeah, it looks like it. And is that somewhere I can go? It almost looks like it. No. Okay. So this door appears locked. This door has no power. Nearby power conduit must be energized for it to open. A blast of electrical energy will energize the conduit. The conduit radiates some heat that is visible in normal spectrum. Okay. Okay, so we have two choices. Let's go through missiles first. Does this door need scan stuff, actually? No, it doesn't. Okay. I'm literally the puzzle master. That is a different kind of puzzles, though. Eagerly await your reaction to Disco Elysium when you get to it. That's a game I wish I had the time to stream, to be honest. I'm not going to have the time to, like, or patience, really, to stream Disco Elysium, because that's going to be the kind of game that I want to just devour when I finally get to it. But Disco Elysium, I'm extremely interested in. Work on my backlog was a fine New Year's resolution until Arceus came out, with Elden Ring coming after. I mean, the simple fact is that working on my backlog is never going to be a resolution that actually gets done. Alright, Shadow Pirate. Pirate forces trained and equipped for stealth operations. A select group of space pirates have access to sophisticated cloaking technology. This gear drains high levels of power, however forcing them to rely solely on melee weapons in battle. Use enhanced detection gear when fighting these units. Well, haven't got a lot of that right now, so we'll just electrocute them to death. That seems simpler. Circuit breakers for lab sub-processing. Okay. Goal in 2022 is to enjoy more media without the expectation that I'll create content about it. I wish I could create more content. I feel like I'm really not at the moment. I just don't have the time or energy to do it on top of a real job. Like, I wish I was able to make more things. Okay. So, space pirate, sentient, aggressor species, well-trained in melee and weapon combat. Space pirates wield galvanic accelerator cannons and forearm-mounted scythes in combat. This species seeks to become the dominant force in the galaxy, and their technology may help them realize this goal. Ruthless and amoral, the pirates care little for the cost of their ambition. Only the results matter, and they take these very seriously. Additionally, ever since Mother Brain was defeated, they have become feral and lost the ability to intelligently think. Every time I play a game, I worry about what if this is a moment I should be recording that I could use in a video. Never turns out to be true. I kind of just like having documented examples of like my thoughts and actions. Like, I just like looking back on things, and having streams or created content is a good way to do that. Like, it's very easy for me to see what I thought of Final Fantasy VII because I can just go watch myself play Final Fantasy VII. It's easier to watch Other M from canon, not the Prime series. Other M, like, isn't even consistent with itself. But hey, if you want my thoughts on Other M, that's also documented. We got the VODs right here on Twitch. You could just go back and see those anytime. Force field accessible only through space pirate bioimaging. Impossible to breach. If you ever want to see probably the angriest I've been at a video game on stream, all you need to do is go watch the Other M VODs. Maybe someday I'll put stuff on YouTube. But for now, it's all here on Twitch. Access to Research Lab Hydra granted. Oh my god, there's a lot to scan here. New pirate data entry. Alright, log 10.515.8. Our initial tests exposing Tallon 4's indigenous parasites to Phazon appear to be successful. Increases in strength, size, and aggressiveness are common in all test subjects, as well as unforeseen evolutions, like additional poison sacs within the abdomen and the appearance of a second ring of mandibles in several subjects. These creatures were chosen because of their resilience, and it appears possible that, given enough exposure to Phazon, they may one day be able to survive on any planet we transport them to. Our methods will have to be refined. We currently have 100% extinction rate after the 4th infusion period, and most survivors of the 3rd infusion stage are so violent and uncontrollable that they have to be euthanized. Even still, we remain hopeful that further experimentation will result in success. Well, I see how that went for your frigate up in space, and it wasn't your greatest idea. Like, really, maybe you need to be a lot more careful with your experiments because they keep breaking free. I feel like we're about to see one break free pretty soon. Okay, thank you for stopping by, Digital David. Have a good night. Stasis tank operational, but currently empty. Specimen 002 euthanized 12.091.4 after psychotic episode. Scheduled for removal. Operational currently empty. More data. Alright, log 10.344.8. We have codified the newfound energy source as Phazon, a V-index mutagen of which we have very little reliable data. Indications point to a meteor of unknown origin expelling Phazon into the environment. This material appears to possess the power to mutate organic lifeforms sufficiently to withstand its poison. These mutations appear promising, with abrupt evolutionary leaps appearing in single-generation reproduction. Plans to establish a full science team on Tallon 4 are being finalized. Log 10.587.7. Mining operations have begun near the crater where the Phazon appears to be most concentrated. Daily Phazon yields have increased 44%, and our mining system becomes more streamlined as personnel and equipment flows increase. Several incidents of Phazon-induced madness have been reported, prompting augmented life support regulations in the deeper chambers. Symptoms include a loss of equilibrium, erratic respiration, muscle spasms, and in the most extreme cases, hallucinations. A timeline reassessment for the refinery operation is recommended as the material proves more unstable than initial analysis indicated. Alright, Xenome SA is undergoing relocation to Lab Hydra. Subjects transfer ordered after a pronounced increase in aberrant behavior. Security clearance ADR 13. Did I just say I got 50% of all logbook entries? That's weird. That feels high. Like, there's no way we're that far. But I mean, I guess we are. I don't know, maybe I just think this game's a lot longer than it actually is. Specimen 029, life signs normal. Pulse at 140%, mass increase of 12. 4, rather. I just made up a number in my head out of nowhere. Stasis tank operational, currently empty. 4-3, decreased vital signs, cold damping appears stable. Increased acidity levels recorded in Phazon amniotic bath. This is likely a side effect of Phazon ingestion by test subjects. Phazon fluid bath levels at 70%, checking diagnostics per procedure 12.003.8. Okay. Oh my god, so much to read. Ice beetle infestation in Ice Vault region has been 95% exterminated. Report any sightings to security immediately. Access to Research Lab Ether, limited to Team Sclera only. Personnel bound for Hollow Observatory must use West Elevator. Stasis tanks operating at 40% capacity. Oh my god, so much to read. I was elected to lead, not to read. Yeah. You're gonna die now. Very fun to just zap them and then watch them go flying. Boom. Hi. How's it going? Chozo Ruins and Phendrana Drifts are the most scan-heavy areas in the game. I mean, you say that like they aren't the bulk of the game. Transfer of Specimen 344 to Lab Hydra complete. Further infusion suspended pending security assessment. The only area that comes anywhere close to as big and dense as Chozo Ruins and Phendrana Drifts is Phazon Mines. Who's the voice of Samus in this again? That is a funny question, because the answer is more complicated than people realize. Samus was not voiced by any one person in this game, according to the audio director at Retro Studios at the time, who says that there were a number of voices chosen, that various different voice clips are made up of a couple of different actresses, of which the audio director only ever saw initials for, one of which was JH. So someone with the initials JH provided the bulk of Samus's voice in this game, with the rest of it being given by someone with the initials VM. So there is no hard confirmation whatsoever. Jennifer Hale does today say that she voiced Samus in Metroid Prime, but she is not credited in the game, and the audio director himself is not 100% certain whose voice is in the game. Xenome behavioral patterns show decreased reflex activity at temperatures below freezing. Phazon batch 1734.0 shows mandible mutation across all subjects. Cross infusion with batch 1622.g recommended. Mutation strain 776-B shows massive absorption. Capacity influx. Strain replication is now underway. Actually, for the death scream in particular, when you die in this game, that one is for sure VM, not JH. So at the very least, that's one voice line that is confirmed, not Jennifer Hale. Jennifer Hale and Van Morrison, got it. I believe Vanessa Marshall is the theorized voice nowadays. Do not handle sedated Xenos without proper ice containment equipment. Specimen 070, optimal absorption mutation has led to unexpected degeneration of internal organs. There's also the matter of the unused monologue from the beginning of the game that is often credited to Jennifer Hale, but I personally don't think it sounds like her. I've listened to it, and it's a voice that is similar to Jennifer Hale, but I don't think it's Jennifer Hale that gives that unused narration, even though people always say that it is, which, once again, uncredited, there's no official word. So, it's a whole complicated thing. Viral pathogens found in several xenomes have been traced to Phazon Batch 1664.Z. Terminate all subjects. Strain 776-V has been successfully replicated. We have named it Strain Vertigo, mutation of beta xenomes proceeding. And I've always, if I'm being honest, I've always kind of wondered, like, how certain is Jennifer Hale that she really voiced this character? Because I've only ever really seen her say it in reaction to someone asking her about it. And this was like a whole feature that I was going to write for NWR that I just never managed to find all the right research that I needed, where she only ever gives like very small statements about voicing Samus. And there was like a Nintendo Power article where she was asked about it, and she just gave like a really quick answer. And then she was asked about voicing, I forgot the character's name in Metal Gear Solid 1, where she gives a much more detailed answer, talking about things about the character, her motivations and stuff. And it's like, I've always kind of wondered, like, Jennifer Hale has voiced so many characters, and at one point, well, under NDA, I mean, she was asked about it in Nintendo Power and said very, very little about it. And I've always wondered, like, she had the Guinness Book of World Record once for, like, the most voice acting roles in video games, I think it was. And it's like, I've wondered, like, was she just told she voiced Samus and just assumed it was correct? Because she's done, the voice acting for Samus in this game is never like anything specifically Metroid. It's just vocal grunts. So, like, did she just do generic vocal grunt work that was, like, eventually, like, taken to be part of Metroid Prime? Which, again, it wasn't just her. We know of at least one other person that voiced Samus in this game. So, it's just, there's like this conspiracy theory thought in my mind about it that I've just never been able to gather the right research and information to properly write about. Anyway, log 10.664.2 Research Outpost Glacier 1 in the Phendrana Drifts region of Tallon 4's mountains is operating at 85% capacity. Sub-zero temperatures have made the Metroids sluggish and easy to control, even those well into Phazon infusion cycles. Cold containment stasis tanks are sufficient for the juveniles, but some of the larger Metroids have been moved to quarantined caves for safety purposes. Security doors remain an issue as malfunctions due to ice occur every day. Large predators in the wastes are also a concern, as they continue to kill personnel and breach secure areas. Unfortunately, it has become clear that our containment teams cannot neutralize all of them without a vast increase in munitions and soldiers. A fun little foreshadowing, since we're going to see Metroids soon. Okay, tissue samples from stasis tanks must be hand-carried to Lab Hydra for analysis. Notify security of all material moves. Alright. A door on the ceiling? What a weird thing. Very strange. It would have been less weird in a 2D Metroid, if I'm being honest. sorry to, like, just start talking about my big Jennifer Hale conspiracy and then go, it's probably nothing. I don't really have anything on it. Hi. You can't scare me. I'm more powerful than you. Holographic spatial schematic is in lockdown per Security Directive 2.23.445. Excuse me, you're being very rude. I'm trying to read all of your state secrets, and I just think that the vibe here is very hostile. We need to be more open and honest about our state secrets. Holographic sequence initiated. It's raining now, according to my my Windows 10 weather widget. Holographic map coordinate data has been updated successfully.
Recorded to logbook.
Alright. Log 10.401.7. Phazon mining is underway. Several garrisons have been established, and terraforming of the Chozo ruins is underway. Security systems are operational, and science team continues to make progress in their biotech research. The Phendrana Drifts have proven to be an optimal location for research headquarters, and soon it will be joined by a fully operational combat base and starport. If Command's predictions are half true, we shall rise to dominance in this sector within a decacycle. Truly, these are glorious times. Okay, I've read ahead. That's not going to go so well for you. Okay. I feel like we never really do much to truly disrupt pirate operations on Tallon 4, now that I think about it. Like, they're clearly here and active, and they're not the final boss, so we don't really do anything about them afterwards. Just kind of think that's a little weird. Oh, that worked. Okay. There's a very ominous sound going through my subwoofer right now. A very big and scary sound. Alright, big holographic map of the area. And I think that's the super missiles? Ah, Samus's hit list. Alright, planet Billium, mass 3.8 trillion teratons. Profile quarantine, atmosphere is rife with Miteralis, a sentient gaseous global exterminator virus. Holy shit.
Recorded to logbook.
Planet Town 4, mass 5.1 trillion teratons. Profile ecosystem studies indicate that Tallon 4 was a biological paradise prior to the impact of an extraterrestrial object. What remains of the biosphere is slowly fading due to exposure to phazon radiation. At current rate of decay, Tallon 4 will be a barren Class 13 wasteland in approximately 25 years. Planet Twin Tabula, 4.1 trillion teratons. Planet is best known for twin fever, a disease caused by a viral strain native to Twin Tabula. In the early stages of the disease, victims suffer from double vision. When the twin sight fades, the victim is near death. What if we kissed on Twin Tabula? Planet Ormine 2, mass 2.3 trillion teratons, an uninhabitable wasteland savaged by nuclear dust storms and constant seismic upheavals.
Recorded to logbook.
Planet Zebes, 4.8 trillion teratons. Planet's crust is primarily earthic ore, making it ideal for subterranean construction. A Class 19 planet, Zebes is inhospitable to most bioforms. The world was considered unremarkable until it became a base for space pirate forces, even though there's like a massive Chozo base on there. Did I get everything? I think I got anything. Nothing for the star, huh? Lower node of astronomical holographic projector functioning normally. Yeah, Tallon 4 and Zebes are neighbors because there was like the distress signal of like fleeing Zebes to Tallon 4. It was just like the nearby space pirate installation. Okay. The only two planets important to the logbook are Tallon 4 and Zebes. I don't know, I feel like that one with a sentient gaseous virus is, like, slightly noteworthy. I would want to keep that one in mind. I'm going to assume that this is a save room. Called it. Logbook only cares about Tallon 4 and Zebes. Yeah, that's weird to me. Like, tell me more about this sentient gaseous virus. Chief Astrogation Officer feels our current dual holoprojector system is obsolete. Please review and advise. All holo technicians report to main observatory. Maintenance required on both holo modules. Like the New York Times says, the sentient billium gas virus is in retreat. We're almost back to normal. Twin Fever sounds like really metal, though. That is a hell of a concept to write about. And it's just, like, stuck there. It's just stuck in that little logbook, and it's not public domain. Where is this gonna bring us? Oh, it's gonna bring us up to the West Tower. We're not done here. Okay, pretty linear so far. Some writer at Retro was listening to a lot of Foreigner that day. Yes, it's time for them. Or maybe it's not time yet. Maybe we'll see them in a moment. Stunning with wave beam, then. Ah, here we go. Here they are. Fly now. Oh right, I already scanned them. Where's the other one? There he is. The sealed door is the research? Oh my god. And there's some stuff that counts as research logs that seem really easy to miss. I saw a couple of dropped frames on OBS, but we're good. Alright, Research Lab Ether. I'm hearing a lot about this one. The logbooks. I imagine there'll be something significant in here. Is there anything to scan in here? I don't think so. What's that up ahead? Stasis tank B11. Is that a B or an 8? I think the one on the left is a B and the one on the right is an 8. There's like a tiny little pixel difference. Contaminated beyond acceptable safety standards. Removal squad requested. Phazon infusion stage 6. Subject Metroid BR 5497. Subject's mass at 180% of the previous Phazon cycle, increasing dosage by 4%.
Recorded to logbook.
Log 10.444.4. Initial transfer of Metroids to Tallon 4 research facilities has been completed. 3 were terminated in an incident at the landing site, but the others were pacified and transported safely. Initial Phazon infusion testing is underway. We are eager to observe the effects of Phazon on Metroids, especially their ability to absorb and process the energy given off by Phazon sources. Early research suggests a considerable growth in power and size. Whether the creatures stay stable thereafter remains to be seen. Rather silly how we first encounter Metroids in the ice area. I feel like that is itself kind of a statement on the fact that it's not going to matter as much. Cold makes them easier to transport. The lore was over this. That's true. They did bring that up. Log 10.891.0. The reconstruction of Geoform 187, codenamed Ridley, was recently completed. After his defeat on Zebes, Command ordered a number of metagenetic improvements for him. Though aggressive, we were able to implement these changes in a cycle. The metamorphosis was painful, but quite successful in the end. Early tests indicate a drastic increase in strength, mobility, and offensive capability. Cybernetic modules and armor plating have been added as well. We believe our creation, now called Meta Ridley, will become the mainstay of our security force, a job he will certainly relish. Okay, Hunter, Metroid, and Phendrana. Really? Can we scan this before Can we scan this before? No, we cannot. This is our first mention of Facebook Ridley. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Oh shit. Fuck, I hit B by accident. I didn't mean to.
Recorded to logbook.
Morphology Metroid, energy-based parasitic predator, the dominant species of planet SR-388. Metroids can suck the life force out of living things. A Metroid will latch onto its prey and drain energy, growing larger as it does. The only way to shake an attached Metroid is to enter a morph ball mode and lay a bomb. See, it's something like this, where the Space Pirates just kind of brought a Metroid to Tallon 4. That kind of makes me think maybe they weren't all exterminated on SR-388. It almost seems like laughable as a concept now. Containment temperature stable at 3 degrees centigrade. Environmental diagnostics satisfactory. Internal organs of Metroid seem to be limited to nucleonic absorption cells and massive energy reservoirs. Metroid brain scan results in. I know it hasn't been destroyed yet, but like just the fact that they were ever taken off planet, not just taken off planet, but escaped. Like in Prime 2 and 3, we see escaped Metroids. That makes it very difficult to believe that like wiping them out on one single planet actually wiped them out. Studies show accelerated activity in parietal lobe during hunting cycles at temperatures above 10 degrees centigrade. In fact, the first time we ever see them, it's when they are not on planet SR-388 in the original Metroid. It is very, very, very difficult to believe that every single Metroid ever has been exterminated. Metroid containment fields appear 100% effective after adjustments. Temperatures below 10 degrees centigrade will render Metroids docile. It's like, I get it, it's the lore of the series, but still. The hooked mandibles of the Metroid penetrate the skin of its prey and siphon pure life force energy. And imagine like the absolute flex it'll be if Prime 4 takes place after Dread. Like, it won't, because Prime and 2D Metroid are basically different canons, but that'd be cool. Log 10.957.2. Confidence is high regarding Phazon applications. We know enough about Phazon now to begin combining it with Space Pirate DNA. The codename for this venture will be Project Helix. Preliminary studies indicate that Phazon infusion could produce radical new pirate genomes. Benevolent mutation levels are high in current test subjects. Phazon madness is a concern, but refinements in the infusion process should reduce or neutralize the odds of mental degeneration. In Prime 2, they label the Metroids their Tallon Metroids and reference them being from Tallon 4, as they have a lack of the standard larval Metroid resistances. Yes. It just seems a little weird to me. All guards must use ice containment gear when transporting Metroids. This includes sedated specimens and those pronounced dead. Not taking any chances. Again. As energy-based creatures, Metroids show immediate mass increases upon energy absorption. Seems like there's something in there that I want to scan. Imagine having to kill the standard larval Metroids in Prime, Ice Beam, then 5 missiles. Try not to. Whoops. Fell off. There's more scans up there, though. There. You're in my way. I need to get to the elevator, sir. I have a meeting. Thank you. There were scans up here that I missed. Hunter Metroid DS. DS? What's that supposed to say? It's showing signs of increased instability and heightened immunity to cold dampening fields. Bad news, they are no longer as vulnerable to cold. Good news, a single Super Met Soul will do. Yep. Motion near Hunter Metroid DG appears to trigger psychotic episodes. Personnel are to stay at least 3 meters away from stasis tanks. There's more. There's more. You guys see more. Was there more? Well, there's more missile. This doesn't seem like a puzzle concept I am about to enjoy. Move very slowly and hope the camera doesn't screw you over. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one. It's not a super interesting puzzle. This is just move very slowly. Okay, time to scan many things. Empty stasis tank used for biological specimens. Latent radiation readings indicate extreme radioactive contamination. Oh. Hi. You're gonna be a problem. Stasis tank C012 is contaminated beyond acceptable safety standards. Remove immediately. Energy tank design permanently increases your maximum energy. Quarantine specimen exhibits highly aggressive behavior. Its body structure, composed of Phazon ore, appears nearly invulnerable. This has rendered our efforts to train and discipline subject useless.
Recording to logbook.
Log 11.420.7. Metroid dissection continues to provide more questions than answers. Our research teams have isolated the energy conduits that run from the invasive twin mandibles to the energy core in this creature's quadripartite nucleus, but the manner in which a Metroid actually extracts the life force from its prey remains an utter mystery. The victim does not lose blood or any other vital fluids, and yet the Metroid extracts energy. Identifying this energy is our central problem. It takes no physical form, and yet without it, the victim dies. We will continue to research this matter, as the isolation of this life-giving essence could be the key to our ascendance. East Quarantine Cave has been secured. I like how it's just randomly like, yeah, we're researching Metroids because we want to become immortal. Specimen remains in the quarantine area. All experiments have been suspended pending pacification of area.
Recorded to logbook.
Log 11.550.6. Studies of Metroid biology continue, though with limited progress. It seems likely that we will be much more successful using the Metroids for our means rather than trying to reproduce their powers. If they could be adequately tamed, we would have no need of a proper understanding of their metabolism. A small force of disciplined Metroids could wipe out entire armies, and once we find a way to shield them from cold containment weapons, they will be invincible. Furthermore, if we could harness the energy that they'd consumed, we would have a near limitless source of power at our disposal. It's not a bad idea, to be honest. This tank holds the remains of Experiment 7526, conversion to elite pirate unsuccessful. Yeah, that looks unsuccessful. I agree. Metroids infused with Phazon, Strain, Vertigo are thriving. We feel they could be Class 1 energy harvesters if proper submission measures are employed. Alright, thank you for stopping by. Have a good night. There's a Zabesian limb in that vat. Ah, yeah, so there is. This game can't decide whether the space pirates are Zabesians or not. It's a little weird. Okay, there's gotta be some way to open that. Unless it's just gonna open as part of story stuff later. It's actually very likely that it's just gonna open later. Directive. In the event of a Metroid attack, repel creature with missiles set to maximum concussion. In other words, kill it with a super missile. Oh man, we came in here a while ago. Took me longer to go through that room than I thought. Ice beetle. Whoops. Burrowing insect with an ice-reinforced carapace, adverse to heat. This member of the beetle family has adapted to life in the sub-zero temperatures in the Phendrana Drifts, growing a thick ice shell over its entire body. The ice is extremely resilient, providing the ice beetle with extra protection and augmented digging abilities. Try missiling the tank with the E-tank. That's a good idea. You very rarely break things that don't specifically say they can be broken in Prime, so I just didn't think to. Well, now it's just not there, I think. There it is. Sick. Yeah, Prime doesn't give me that same Metroidvania instinct to break everything, because it really does just tell you everything that needs to be broken. So whenever I run up against something that it doesn't tell me needs to get broken, then it's a little weird. These are gonna be a problem. Missed me. You got really bad aim when you're going for a suicide dive because your equipment has been damaged. I think you'd be better at piloting critically damaged equipment. Central tank control circuit connection terminated. Cool little detail here. There are pirates and Metroids in the same room. As long as you're farther away from the Metroids and the Metroids will attack the pirates. That's pretty cool. Testing of thermal imaging software complete. Commence download to Tactical Visor prototype for field testing. Don't worry, buddy. I got you. I'll take care of it. You can count on me. This unit supplies power to the containment force field at the bottom of the room. I'm gonna take real good care of that prototype. This is not how you design a stairwell. Central tank auxiliary circuit connection terminated. do you say? Thermal imaging software exceeding initial expectations. Combat applications are being evaluated by command. Field testing in Phendrana region approved. Use of prototype visors by security personnel approved. Okay. I guess we'll just jump down now. I don't see a lot of scans around, except this one right here. Central tank main circuit connection terminated. Any more? These visors will be useful. Thermal visor interfaces will be sent to quarantine area. These visors will be useful for any personnel involved in transport of the unstable test subject there. Inform command that thermal vision tests will begin soon. Abnormal heat traces are represented as red when looking through the thermal imaging spectrum. Here we go. Alright, thermal visor acquired. And now the lights are gonna go out. How did I know? Boom. You guys can't beat me. I can see in the dark. Thermal visor actually holds up surprisingly well in VR. I mean, it has to place a visible filter over pretty much everything. So, that makes sense. There we go. I don't want to waste like a whole super missile on this thing because I've already started hitting it. But the next one, though, you'll remember the next one. That one, specifically. Come on, buddy. There you go. Not so tough now, are you? Is there sound design for the thermal visor? I never really noticed. Can't help but wonder, because I've never, like, actually... Oh, yeah, I need to scan these things. I can't help but wonder, since I've never actually like, really paid attention to a speedrun of this game. Is the thermal visor required? Like, can you just shoot the spots? Can you just memorize where everything goes and then just shoot it there? Sentry drone, well-armed and armored security mecha. Whoops, 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 whoops. Sentry drones have limited intelligence, but do their assigned tasks well. Being machines, they are susceptible to electronic... Come on. To electrical attacks. When alerted, drones initiate a security lockdown, then attempt to neutralize the intruder. Their electronic warfare suit can scramble visor technology as well. Okay, so you can't... So even though logically the stuff for the thermal that you use the thermal visor to hit would still be there, you can't actually hit it without the thermal visor. Help. I can see in the dark. You can't stop me. Those are going to be a problem, like, immediately, aren't they? Maybe we shouldn't hang around and wait for them to be a problem. Oops. below half health. This is a place I don't like to be when it's been that long since I saved. We should use the super missiles more than we are. For some reason machines don't generate heat signatures. Yeah, they kind of should. Doesn't seem like it was fully thought through. This is the way I want to go, I assume, right? Yeah, because then we can power over here. Now that we have the thermal visor. We're gonna get ambushed as soon as we walk through this room. Murder. Wow, he just ceased to exist. God damn. Just like this guy. And this guy. That's insane. They just disintegrate. They evaporate. They are gone. No more. Wow, you can't destroy these at all, can you? Which way did I come from? Alright, farewell. I'll probably stop soon. Anyway. I don't plan on this being a very long stream, so. But thank you for stopping by. Oh, we turned off the power on this side, too. Well, that's a good thing. Oh, this is not an outdoor zone. I'm just having my laptop. I don't know what. I can't see chat, though. I think Chrome just crashed? Yeah, Chrome just crashed on my laptop. So I can't see chat right now. Come on. Come on. Well, like everything crashed on my laptop. All right, yeah, we are about to save. Don't worry. But I want to get out of this area before we call it a night, just so that when we come back on Thursday, we can kind of have like a fresh start. I like the wave beam missile combo. I feel like that's the most satisfying way to get kills. Okay, we want to head... I think we want to head completely back out of here. Yeah, Ruined Courtyard. That's where the energy thing was. I don't think there's much for us to find in here. Cool. 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 Did I go backwards? What the fuck? No, there are just now Metroids here. Even though there weren't before, meaning it's probably about to break out and ruin my day. Do it already. Alright, oh, do I have Wave Beam equipped? Missiles to get Wave Buster. I don't know off the top of my head where that is, and I for now I prefer to go without like hints and spoilers and stuff. I don't remember where anything is off the top of my head from here on out. So we're just gonna see what I find. We're gonna trust the Metroidvania senses and see where it leads me. But I am aware of all of the beam missile combos. Okay, yeah, this is a mirror image. Yeah, we're making our way out to the ruined courtyard. Come on. There we go. You guys, why don't you die faster? Come on. It's better for tax purposes, you know. I don't know if, like, you guys knew that, but it saves a ton of money. There's, like, a ton of tax rebates that come with being dead. In fact, when you're dead, you don't have to pay taxes at all. So really, just by fighting against me, you're kind of just making things worse on yourselves. A lie. No, when you're dead, someone else has to pay those taxes. That's a proven fact. Okay, yeah, you do need to be like actively using the thermal vent. Or do you? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Oh, I need to break it first? Not even. Cordite. Cordite is super missile. Okay. So if you just memorize where that stuff is, you can't do it the first time you're here before you get the thermal visor? Like, even if you memorize it, you still have to get the thermal visor and it just won't be spawned yet? If that's the case, I don't really like that. I should go use that save point. But if you, so once you get the super missiles, if you double back and come here, then can you skip the thermal visor? Like if you were doing a speed run, it would be faster to do that. So does that work? I guess most people wouldn't know because, like, most people in a casual playthrough, once you're already in there, you might as well get the super missiles, get the thermal visor anyway. But it is something I'm wondering about. Thermal's sort of required for Thardus, not with that attitude. Which I think, are we about to fight Thardus? I forget. Don't answer that. But I feel like this is where he is. Oh, is Thardus the specimen that they were talking about in the logs? Yeah, I guess he would be, wouldn't he? That makes sense. I never put two and two together there. That's just a bunch of rocks that they threw phase on it, right? sure hope so. I haven't died yet, and this would be a really embarrassing place for my first death. Alright. Morphology Thardus, an animated, sentient creature of stone charged with phazon radiation. So yeah, they just threw phazon at a bunch of rocks to see what happens. The phazon radiation given off by Thardus negates auto-targeting systems, preventing lock-on. It may be possible to acquire alternate targets with a different visor. The chaotic nature of phazon irradiation leads to instability in its structural integrity. Thardus can encase targets in ice, and its colossal size and strength make it a formidable opponent. Alright. So, with regards to the thermal visor, is it random where Thardus can be hit, or is that consistent? Is that something else that you can memorize if you were a speedrunner? It's hard to say. So, yeah, so if you were a speedrunner that could just memorize stuff easily, then you could totally skip the thermal visor. Whoops, 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 whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. We're going to super missile this. Well, if, say, for example, you were a speedrunner of the trilogy version specifically, which I assume there must be. I'd be surprised if there are no speedruns of the trilogy version. I also imagine some parts are just faster with free. I should, like, actually watch a Metroid Prime speedrun sometime. Like, they're probably cool, right? Here, I don't remember what's going on here. I don't remember much of this. I remembered that this fight existed, of course, but I don't really remember anything that happens in it. So this is going to be interesting for us to discover together. Go. And go. That's a power beam for super missiles. 8% Metroid Prime speedrun is 106. 8% spends a lot of time out of bounds. Whenever that kind of thing happens in speedruns, like, there's gotta be the alternate categories for, like, a normal run, right? Like, Ocarina of Time runs have always had, like, alternate categories that don't use the crazy broken stuff. So, like, MST runs in Ocarina of Time are super popular because you get to see more of Ocarina of Time as it's meant to be in speedrun form. So, like, do they have that for Prime? I feel like I'm moving the goalposts. Like, every time I'm like, well, do they do this in speedruns? You're like, well, here's why they probably don't. But what if they did this? Like, just constant goalpost moving for me. Okay, this fight is more engaging than the Sheegoth was, but awfully repetitive. I think that there is... You have to do the same thing too many times with not a ton of variation. I'm low on missiles. That's unfortunate. Can I restore missiles at all? Or am I just out for the whole fight? Looks like I just gotta do the rest of the fight without missiles. I won't be ready tomorrow. I am sorry to hear that. Hi. I... Oh, since I'm out of missiles, since I don't have enough missiles to do super missiles, the rest is going to be a little long-winded. Well, thankfully there's not a lot left to it now. Oh, wait. I can break these for health pickups. Probably also missile pickups. But I'd like to kill him before that becomes relevant. Almost dead. Come on. Come on. There we go. We're about to get the spider ball. For some reason I remember being a lot later in the game. All right. Okay. So, I think there was spider ball stuff in the lab where we saw the Metroids. I wonder if it's worth going back. I need grapple beam to get over there. Yes, fireball stuff in the armored beetle room. That much I do remember. But I'm trying to decide if I want to go back into the dark lab. Magmoor Caverns south, huh? Well, let's see what's up here. That's an ice beam door. Okay, well, I don't think I feel like going back into the dark area. This might be a good place to call it. I did want it to be a shorter stream. If I stop now, I got the whole night ahead of me. So let's get to a save room that I assume... No, come on. Space jump early and then chain boost ball to wave beam. Yeah, I can imagine that because it's kind of just a back and forth there. Probably like the most back and forth section in the game. Okay, so I'm gonna assume. Fucking serious, come on. The save points right over here. Yes. Okay. Game has been saved. Okay. So I think that's a good place to call it for tonight. So, I can't pull up the schedule because Joe didn't put it on Drive. Thanks, Joe. He messaged me in the middle of the stream to like be like, oh no, I forgot. so I knew. But, so tomorrow, Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be finishing up the gummy ship, and then we are getting into the data fights. So we are in the home stretch. There is not a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2 left. So once we finish the data fights, it's just Lingering Will, and then we finish critical mode. And then that'll be the Platinum Trophy, and we'll do one more big Kingdom Hearts 2 stream where we play a randomizer, but then that's it for that game. We are almost done. On Wednesday, Xander is coming back with another stream. Xander is going to be streaming more of Spyro on Switch. Thursday, more Metroid Prime from me. Friday, more Metroid Prime from Joe. And then on Sunday, we're getting back to Danganronpa. I know we said we'd be doing that tonight, but we decided a better way to do the streams for Danganronpa is, instead of moving them to Monday, we're going to do streams that are less often but longer. So on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be getting back to Danganronpa, and then we are not stopping until we finish the first class trial. So that is the rest of the week coming up. So I highly recommend being here for Kingdom Hearts tomorrow, because tomorrow is when that game's going to start to get crazy with the data fights. So thank you so much for coming by, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you tomorrow. We will see you most other days this week for more streams. The one guy who can't die is dead. Yes. Yes. Anyway, everyone, thank you for coming by. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.